Hello, everybody. Hold on, let me turn my thing up here. Why can't I not hear myself very well? Welcome to episode 34 of the We Are Everywhere podcast. This episode is brought to you by me because we still don't have any advertisers, but we can change that if you would like to advertise or if you would just like to be on the show. Shoot me an email right here. It's sttf.weareeverywhere@gmail.com if you're just listening. Or you can shoot me a DM on any of the socials. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, all of them. The handle is the same at WAE_podcast. And without further ado, we've got another musician on today. That's 2 weeks in a row. Two musicians, and we're going to start creating our own We Are Everywhere podcast supergroup band here. Everyone welcome Sarah Elaz.
Oh, that was a great intro. It's exciting.
I think that was the best one that I've done. It was the first one that I've asked for advertisers too. So if anybody's listening that has deep pockets, I'll at you, boy. So, yeah, you are a musician. I see the basses. So whenever you're talking about multiple bass guitars, do you say basses or do you just say bass?
Bass-I.
Bass-I?
No, I think it's basses. I think it is. But yeah, I do have a wall of basses behind me. I thought it'd be a good background.
Yeah, no, it's dope.
Yeah,
and it fits your personality. I've seen your TikToks, and you're always slapping the bass.
Yeah. Oops.
Oops. Mike, she's coming for you. And you have your own band, maybe multiple. And you can correct me if I'm wrong here, but just from what I've seen on your TikTok, the band is named after you. Sarah Elaz's Almost Phish.
SEAP. SEAP is.
Oh, is that what you call it? Okay.
Yeah, we go for SEAP. I can't decide if I want to change the name. It feels very like egotistical, but yeah. So
it's okay. You have Trey Anastasio band. I mean, sometimes you gotta highlight yourself. You don't do it. Who else is gonna do it?
Well, there's that, but also, so I started the band. Originally, I wanted to be an all-female cover band, Phish cover band.
There you go.
That's the goal. That's the eventual goal. But
kicking all the dudes out.
Well, that's the thing too. So I started it, and I couldn't find any women. And so my boyfriend plays in it, Lonnie. He's the guitarist. We've got some really close friends in it. And it kind of turned into its own band. We're about to have our 5th show tomorrow. We play in New York. We're about to announce a show on Long Island, in Philly, and maybe in Toronto, and in Florida. So it had to live its own, and now I feel like I can't really kick out the dudes.
Yeah, maybe here's what you can do, maybe to make it like a soft kick out instead of like a hey, you're gone. Start like adding the women slowly, and then like exiting them like just one for one, just like, it's not you, it's me,
No, it's a great band. I love them. My partner Lonnie is an excellent trade for me. Like, so we've even joked like maybe it shouldn't be SEAP, it should be like slap. Like slap.
There you go.
Phish. It's ever evolving, but it's been super fun, and learning Phish songs is obviously just like the greatest joy. And then finally being able to play them like last night. I hope no one's going to be at the show. Last night we finally perfected Punch You in the Eye. And that was just like crazy feeling just to be able to do it. And all those like different parts. And we would just look around and be like, oh my God, did we just do that?
Like had that locked in moment. Yeah.
Super fun. Phish songs will really bring a group together and when you're playing them. So
for sure. Especially if everyone in the band enjoys Phish.
Yeah. Everyone's like massive Phish fans. I think that's what makes our band a little different than other bands, right? Like I have a lot of musician homies that are in Phish cover bands, and maybe the drummer isn't a Phish fan, but is a hired hand. They're just like, our band is just like a bunch of crazy super fans, and we do the songs that those Phish bands don't want to do. Like we do the NO2s, we do the weird random night, like we did a mock song like recently.
Very cool. Ficus.
Yeah.
Like all the deep cuts.
We do the shit that like you don't want to do. Oh, am I allowed to swear?
Did you just swear?
I did.
Uh-oh, we're going to take that out.
Okay.
Just kidding. Uh-oh. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, that's cool though. Like going deep with it, and that's cool that you're all like you all share the same passion of music and the same passion of Phish. So is it true to your band? Is it true to like to Phish as well? Like you guys have 4 members. Do you have more? You have horns? Like how?
So we blur the lines. Like we don't
Cool.
the drummer doesn't wear a dress. Like I'm not dressing up as Mike. I usually have a female vocalist on stage with us,
Cool.
which I think is really fun. It's usually these 2 girls I'm friends with, which brings like hearing Sand sung by like a belting like god is insane.
Yeah.
We're gonna do horns soon. It's super casual. It's we're not trying to be true to Phish. Like our jams aren't very fishy. Sometimes we take inspiration from Talking Heads or Grateful Dead or pop music, or it's almost Phish. Like just like J-Rad. Like we don't. I don't think right now someone wants to go to a Phish cover band and hear something played exactly like the artist would think Phish would play it, because I'm always disappointed. Like I'm a huge Mike fan. I feel like I can read his mind, and I go to Phish cover band and the bassist is, I'm like, that's not what Mike would do. That's not what Mike would do. And you can't like, that's not even faulting them. You can't do what Mike does. So you might as well like stretch it out and take it to a different extreme so that someone's not there trying to compare you to Mike or to Trey.
Right. I mean, because that's already going to happen by default. You know, if you're going to see a Phish cover band, like, I mean, chances are you already know who Phish is, and you know what the songs are, you know what the jamming is like. So it's cool to see that own person's flair. Like, of course, like, you know, Mike would try to do this or Trey would try to do this, but like they're coming to see you. So like you got to put your flair on it.
And I gotta say, like, we also have a lot of people come to our shows because I mean, I have my Phish life and I have my other life, you know.
Don't we all?
I have a lot of people from my other life come to shows who have never heard a Phish song whatsoever. And so after the show, I'm always like, what do you think? You like Phish now? And they're like, no, I like SEAP. Like, this. So I think it's also a really cool, unique opportunity for us to redefine these Phish songs and maybe open people up. And even if they don't go to a show, like someone, I'm in another like pop band, and he texted me like later in the band. He's like, I didn't know Phish played ska. Like, what song are you talking about? He's like, there was a ska song. And I think it was Big Black Furry Creature from Mars. I was like, I don't know. Whatever you say, dude.
It's kind of a stretch to call it ska. Yeah. Interesting. Now I'm like wondering, because like they have covered so many things and it's impossible to like remember what all they've covered. I'm like, have they ever covered like a song that could be considered ska? Like maybe in the early days where they were like with the big, you know, country horns or whatever. Maybe I missed something.
I'm sorry that I'm bad at music theory, but like what?
Ska? Ska. So ska is like that. How old are you?
Who?
You.
Almost 31.
Okay, cool. So we're the same age. So you remember like growing up in like America's Funniest Home Videos, right? So like the intro music to that, where it's like horns, but it's like kind of like punk music. It's like super fast, like and it's like horns. It's like fast punk with horns.
Okay.
Other music people, you can come at me if that's not an accurate description of ska. But it's like the America's Funniest Home Videos intro song is what I would consider ska, I think.
I have to look. I'll look it up later. So yeah, either way, the moral of the story is, I guess my Phish cover band is a ska band.
No, it's not. No, it's not. So okay, let's back up. Where are you from?
Yeah, how did I get here? Wow, I was born in Buffalo, New York. I grew up in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Went to college in Massachusetts, but have been living in New York City ever since I graduated.
Okay, so New York.
The Northeast, Northeaster.
Northeaster. So you're in one of those prime spots where you get to see a lot of Phish.
Yeah.
I'm always jealous. I've had so many people on that are like in that like Northeast area, and it's just
Where
like,
are you?
I'm from all over, really. Originally from Oklahoma, spent some time on the West Coast in Oregon, and then now I'm in Michigan. So I've always had to, like, to see Phish, I've always had to travel.
Right.
And like with you guys, it's like, sure, you got to do a little traveling, but it's like a couple hours. Like you can go on like a run and it's still,
I've done one too. Yeah. I mean, yeah, super lucky. I mean, New York City, Phish loves New York. Madison Square Garden is not down the street. It's a subway ride away, but like.
Right. Yeah. But it's not.
Shows. Madison Square Garden has been hometown shows for many, many years.
That's awesome.
Oh, it's the best.
Do you find because you've been in New York for so long, do you find yourself like not really taking for granted, but almost taking for granted, like how mecca that is, that like MSG is your hometown show. Like every time that they come there, like Baker's Dozen or New Year's or anything like that, you're just like, it's a given. You're like, yeah, I'm going, because you don't got to find a hotel.
Exactly. I take for granted the price of what it costs other people to come here.
Sure.
I think more importantly, it's always a reason not to leave, right? Like we've been trying to move out of New York City for so long.
Sure.
And then every time, like especially now this time, we were gonna move somewhere in May. It was like, well, now we can't. There's ourselves in part 2. Like we can't
go.
What are we gonna do? Move and then like rent out an Airbnb for 4 weeks? Like no. Okay. All right. Enough here in New York. So I feel like it just always like there's not taken for granted. It keeps you here.
It keeps you locked in. Because I believe that's like where they're all at too, right? Maybe not. I know Trey for sure.
Yeah, Trey lives here. Mike and Peter in Vermont. Fishman's out in the woods in Maine. But I mean, that's
out in the woods somewhere. Nobody really knows where Fishman is at any given time.
In the woods. In the woods, like a caveman.
So we're roughly the same age. So I'm curious to hear your story of how and when you got into Phish. Do you remember hearing it for the first time? When did it click? When were you like, okay, this band is getting my money?
I feel like my story is very similar to a lot of other people's.
Sure.
I have an older sibling.
Okay. There we go.
Done. My older sister is about 15 years older than me. Her name is Shiri. She's wonderful. And she was following Phish in the 90s. So she did whole tours. And I think her first show was in 95. Did whole tours in 97, 98, 99, whatever. Her sticker or her stub collection is massive. Sick. Awesome. So, I mean, her being 15 years older than me, already seeing Phish, like I have photos of me in princess dressers. I was just actually trying to find this picture. I'm in like this mermaid costume and she's coming back from Phish tour and she has like a big backpack and she's tired and her eyes are swollen. Yeah. And I was like, whatever. So like Phish just kind of was a part of my life. Like she had a Phish sticker on her car. Like all of her friends would come over and listen to it. I don't remember hearing my first Phish song because it was just so ingrained. Yeah. In my everyday life. And so summer 2010. Okay. Right? I am 18, I guess, ish, 17. Yeah. And we are on like a 2-week backpacking camping trip in Yosemite National Park because my other sister lived in Yosemite. Okay. And whatever, yada, yada, yada. We're hanging out. Like my one sister has to work and Shiri's like, well, I want to go to the Berkeley shows. Phish is playing at Berkeley and I have no one to watch you. So you're coming.
I have no one to watch you.
So, I'm 18. Like, she was just like, you have no choice. You're coming.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see Phish. They've been on hiatus or whatever. I'm like, okay. Like I said, I'm already primed. I already downloaded. I thought hippie culture was super cool. I downloaded Phish and Grateful Dead on LimeWire, but like I didn't get it. Yeah. 18. Like you think you're so old, but you're so young. Yeah. And she takes me to Berkeley, and my sister also taught me like how to put my finger up. Like she's a Wookiee wook. Like we didn't have tickets. Like we were standing outside for hours with our.
You just went, yeah.
The the way it should be. And so tickets are super hard to come by. We finally get one ticket for like $100, which back then was way over face, right? In 2010, like face value was like $40.
I don't know if it was 40, but yeah, closer.
It was a $40 ticket. That's maybe another like sisterism.
Yeah.
So we get one ticket, and tickets are so scarce and it's so stressful. And we were like about to leave, like show's about to start. And all of a sudden I'm just like standing alone, my finger up, a hooded figure. Like I'm telling you, like this is out of a movie. A hooded figure runs up to me, shoves a ticket in my hand, and runs away without me ever seeing their face.
Whoa. That could have went like a completely different way. You said hooded figure. I was like, where's this guy?
I never saw their face. Like, miracled me, shoved a ticket in my hand, miracled me, and ran away.
That's awesome.
And so we go in, and it's possum opener, and done. Like, done. I was hooked. And
before your sister like was like, hey, we're going to the Berkeley shows, and you like, okay, cool, whatever. Were you like, I know that she like kind of introduced you and you were listening to Phish like growing up because of her, but up until that point, had you like, I know you said like LimeWire with the Phish and Dead, but did you ever really like dive in and like, okay, I'm downloading New Year's 95. I heard everybody talk. Okay. So it was just like, you knew who they were, knew the songs, but weren't really like.
Yeah, I wasn't trying.
Okay, cool.
I wasn't trying. So yeah, we get there. It opens with Possum. She's like, look, everyone's going to crowd interaction. I'm like, what else do they play that show? Maze. I was like, oh my God, blown away by the Maze. Down with Disease, I think they played that show. Oh my God. It was life-changing. And then I went home and I downloaded off LimeWire, those whatever, bunch of songs. I think I downloaded like Meat Stick. And then I had no friends to go to Phish with. And that was it.
So now you're trying to find your crew.
Now I'm trying to find my crew. I'm still going to shows with my sister and her like old crew, which they're awesome. Now we have like now that I'm in the scene, like age doesn't mean anything. Her friends and my friends have mutual friends. We're all one big
blended together.
For a while, it was like me, this like young 18-year-old hanging out with these. How old is she? What's 18 plus 15? I don't know. 32-year-old.
Yeah.
My age. Oh,
your age now, yeah.
Sorry, that was weird to think about.
Isn't it? We're part of the same generation where it's like we're like people like you'll be like filling out like forms and shit. Like the other day I went to get my Michigan driver's license 3 years later, and I was like filling out all this stuff, and I was like 1990, and I was like 32. It's like 30 fucking 2. What the fuck? I'm 32 years old. It blows your mind if you don't think too hard about it, because
that just blew my mind. I think I'm the age that my sister was when she took
when she was taking you
when I was 18 is actually like a charity like of her. Like she would buy me beer. Like, oh, she crushed it. Like
you need to call her after this episode. Be like, hey.
Oh, I will. I mean, she's blown away. Like she didn't expect this to happen.
Right.
This whole disaster. She thought it was going to be an innocent taking her sister, and she changed my life forever. Crazy.
Yeah.
Whew, that was a moment.
That's what we're here for. Those realizations.
So then the next probably whatever 7-8 years was me going with her, maybe going with like an ex-boyfriend, but wandering, lost, getting into the music, not having a crew. And I feel like I really didn't like solidify myself into like a crew and in the scene probably till like 2018.
Oh wow, okay.
So it was like 8 years of just like, I mean, I saw a good amount of shows. I saw like 7 shows a year, but it was like, it was just like
you're more or less like doing it on your own.
Doing it on my own.
Yeah.
And then 2018, I was living in New York. I had like gone through a breakup. I was like, on the scene for the first time. And I met this awesome group of people at Brooklyn Bowl in New York City at a pigeon show. And I kind of just got adopted into this Phish scene, this Phish crew. And it just happened to be a crew that waited in line all day to go up front. And so I accidentally became a rail rider, I really fell into that crew. And that's
got it.
And those people became my family. I met my current boyfriend now. I have this Phish cover band with, and just like it exploded. 2018, like my Phish life exploded in a really beautiful way.
That's awesome. So, and that's cool. That's cool that like you got to experience it from like both lenses, right? Like kind of wandering around. You love the music, but you don't really, you see all of this community around you, and you know
I'm on the outside. I'm watching. I'm like I mean, that doesn't matter where you sit, but like now that I hang out up front, like I was like for my favorite show ever was 2014, the Halloween show, right? The
oh, cool. Yeah.
Whatever, Thrilling Chilling. I was in the last row of the I was the last row, and I had the best
the binoculars.
Yeah, I had the best time. It was still my favorite show. So like having that perspective of look outside looking in, but still knowing all the inside jokes, knowing the music. And now, like, I guess now that I'm 30, 31 or whatever.
Now that we're old balls.
Now I'm old, like I'm inside. It's
yeah.
really beautiful, right? And now I've seen 20 and I've been seeing Phish for 12 years now. Like that's
speaking of those realizations, like that was one that I had a while back, you know, because I started seeing Phish in a year before you. I was 2009, or I guess not even a full year, because it was the New Year's 2009 going into 2010. And, you know, I was like, okay, you know, I was like trying to like count my shows or like looking like on the Helping Friendly app and like reliving some memories. And I was like, holy shit, like I've been seeing Phish for like a long ass time, and I'm a 3.0 kid. Like it doesn't seem like I guess like looking at it on paper, it doesn't seem like that long, but they've basically been playing in 3.0 as long as they've been playing in 1.0. One of my buddies told me that the other day, and it kind of like the other day, a while back, and it blew my mind. Pretty close to it.
I mean, it doesn't seem like they're stopping. Like I was
good.
I was just having conversations, you know, with people who help book, and they're like, yeah, we're making plans for 2025. Like maybe that. I'm like, what? Okay, whatever you want.
Yeah, as long as they all stay healthy and are still enjoying it, they're not going to have any trouble selling tickets. I'll put it that way.
Well,
if they play, we will come.
We will.
But that's cool. So like, I'm kind of curious because I've been on the rail, not even on the rail, but like I've been in like the first 5 rows. Like the closest I've ever been was at Dick's. Nice. I talked about this previously a few episodes back, and it really is like a different world. So like I'm curious of what your like initial reaction to was that, because I've always been like, hang back, like find a spot like close to the soundboard where you know you're going to get decent sound, and you got room to like move if you need to take a piss. You're not like trying to fight, you know, it's just like comfortable, you know, it's like I can see there's a screen. It's like, okay, cool, you know, but like I'm just like there to hear and relax and have a good time. And then the last night of the Dick's run this past year, went down for the second set. I had some of my homies were down there, and we're like there's like 5 people in front of me, and I'm like, the lighting rig is like right here, like in my face. Like I felt like I was like, what the hell? And so I never pull up my phone like it shows. I mean, unless I'm like looking for someone, like texting like, yo, we're over here, you know. But I was like looking around, I was like, I gotta be that guy for a second. And I was like,
as you should.
Picture. I was like, I hope one of those is good, because I was like, I felt like I could like smell Trey's breath. I was like so close. But
it's addicting.
The culture in there like felt kind of different. Maybe I just like didn't soak it in, but I felt like an outsider, like in like the rail riding crew. So like, what was your initial reaction like being thrown into that?
The same, right? So 2018, right, the year that life changed. I met these people. We go to the West Coast. Wow, all my like big moments are on the Phish West Coast. That's so interesting. We did like San Francisco, LA. I think those are 2 shows. It was 2018. And so, yeah, they bring me up front. Maybe the first time I'm close is probably the same, like 6 rows back, right in front of Mike. We're all Mike fans. Yeah, definitely an outsider, right? Even we were there early, so you're sitting down, everybody knows each other, everyone's hugging and taking pictures together, and yeah, it's like this cool, like it's a club. Like I know all these people now, so now it's funny thinking back.
And so wait, your first time, did you go in like super early, like gates open, and you're okay? Gotcha.
Yeah, the crew I met were like, this is what we do. Like there was a different wristband thing. Like back then you had to get a wristband at 10 a.m. and then you would come back. Like backing up, the whole wristband thing happened after Baker's Dozen 2017 when people were sleeping outside for 3 weeks straight.
Oh my God.
So I never did that. Like when I was inducted, brought down, there was already wristbands. No one was waiting in line all day. But are you surprised if people are sleeping out every night together and it's always the same people because they're super fans? How can you not become best friends? How can you not develop some accidental tribe mentality if you've literally been sleeping on the streets with these people since 2012?
Yep.
Right, the people down there have been sleeping on the street together since 2012.
That's yep.
That's so how do you not like automatically have each other's backs?
And I think you said it perfectly, like the tribe mentality. It's like you have shared the same struggle, if we want to call it that, of like willfully being like, okay, we both want this bad enough. We're willing to take off that extra week of work or whatever your situation is,
sleep outside,
and we're committed to this. So I can totally understand that.
So but anyways, I come out in 2018. Like I guess the friends I know like have some. It doesn't matter. Like we're not there for it. I think what really sold me, the lights go down. Like everyone down there, like as I'm sure you saw, goes wild. Like sometimes in the stands, maybe people are maybe like a little too drugged up or just not comfortable. Like there's not as much movement. And
especially if there's stands, like
exactly. Chairs are hard to dance in.
Yeah,
I was just blown away by the people dancing, and because I'm before my life as a bassist, I was a professional dancer.
Huge, oh no way!
Yeah, dancer. I have a degree in dance, and so I go to Phish to dance.
Same. I don't have a degree in it, but
no, but like I need it. And so I remember the first show down there, I'm like dancing, and there's this amazing dancing goddess in front of me. She's one of my best friends now. Her name is Laura Myers. In the second row, dancing like the most just like heartfelt, free, let go.
Nothing else matters.
Nothing matters. And I couldn't take my eyes off her. I was like, this is where I need to be. I need to be near her. I need to be near all these people because this is what I want to do. But maybe I'm a little self-conscious if I'm the only one doing it. Sure. And like even though I don't know them, like this energy is something I've never felt at a Phish show.
Yeah.
And I never went back. That's not true.
What a setup. You're like, this is what I need. This is
I feel like I went back to like the back, but that's not true. Because for a while we were trying to be like, all right, like we're gonna do half and half. Like half the shows in the summer or the run we're gonna do up front, half of them we're gonna hang in the back with like everyone else. That's not true anymore. And so and then eventually, I don't know, you meet them, you're waiting, you're still waiting in line all day, and you become part of the fold, and you realize these people have amazing stories, and they just become your crew.
Yeah.
Now it's hard for me, right? Like everyone, there's that huge like rail rider debate. Like I can't say anything. Like I benefit from this system. I benefit from it. How can I like want to tear it down and screw rail riders? Like I can't. They're just people that really love the band and want to be close.
And if anything, you could say more committed. It's like could say, and it's wild, right? Because having been, and same with you, having experienced both sides of that.
Yeah.
Because there is like. I'm sure that like on social media, you're part of all these Facebook groups and everything else that everyone else is, you'll see like different sides of it. Like people, like there's always like the meme of like, the giant tarp that's like 100 feet wide. And it's like people getting ready for Phish summer tour. And it's like, you can see like the humor in it. Right.
course, because it's hilarious.
And until I got to experience that, I was, because my only perspective was like, why are these people like, damn, like you're gonna wait in line like all day instead of like hanging out like with your homies in the lot and like relaxing and having a good time. And you're just like, it almost felt like I was viewing it as like, you're making this like a job, like you're taking the fun out of it. But then once I got to your point, see like the benefit of it, like you get in there and like I'm with my crew and they're all like, hey, yeah, man, like welcome, here's a spot for you and this and that. But like everyone else, I could feel like the energy of like, this dude is like an outsider. He did not sit with us in line for hours. Like, and I was just like, sorry, you know, like, you want to drink my beer? You know,
right. So, I mean, so that's something that you can critique, right? Like there doesn't need to be like the aggression. But there's like no winning, right? Like there's both sides have equal points. I mean, back to what you were saying though, like everyone always makes that point, like, why wouldn't you just want to be hanging out on the lot with your homies? Like, we are hanging with our homies. Yeah. Our lot is just a line. And but all these people are my like these are
yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah. We're all hanging out. Like we got beers.
Yeah. Instead of hanging out in your or tailgating, you're hanging out
in a
spot that's going to get you where you want to be in the show.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's, but yeah, when it comes to just like holding space, like there's a fine,
I know it's tough. Yeah.
Much, but if anyone could just walk up the front, it kind of ruins the reason why you wait in line.
Yeah. It like takes away.
Because a lot of times, like I've seen this at like Hampton 20, whatever year that was, 19, 18. I don't remember. Bad memory. Like it was like an all GA venue. Like up front was tough. Like really big, scary men would push their way up front and were like punching girls on the rail. Like that's what you don't want. Yeah. Right. Like that's why the turf like mentality of like, you can't come here because I don't recognize you benefits because you're keeping away really scary drunk people that are gonna ruin the vibe.
Sure.
But like an innocent bystander that just wants to like take a picture or see a friend, like my boyfriend has a great story. You should get him on, but I'll tell you.
Yeah. After the show, plug me in.
Yeah, of his a short version of his story is like he wandered up front before he was going up front too. Like everyone was pushing him aggressive. Someone took him in and was like, you know what? Like, stay with me, kid. Like, I got you.
Yeah.
You need a good Samaritan to be like, you know what? I have space. Like, I'm sorry that they're being aggressive.
Sure. Yeah.
Someone needs to be looking out for the people that are just wandering up there innocently that want to take a photo because like the club should be open to anyone. But it's unspoken etiquette rules that we've created.
That's the thing.
Well, I can't break them. Like, I can't do anything about it. It's a herd mentality thing.
Yeah, you've created it's like created like your own rules system, right?
Yeah, there's concert etiquette, which doesn't exist in any other cruise because what other group of people see as many concerts as Phish people do? Like there's no concert etiquette at Taylor Swift. They're all just like people that are up to the front. Yeah, there's concert etiquette at Harry Styles. Like they're just as ruthless. Like Harry Styles riders are worse.
I guess I can see that. And that's the last thing that I'll say on that is, you know, I knew what I was going into because I knew about like the upfront and like being back. And I was like, it was me and my buddy. And I was like, all right, get ready. Cause we're going to be like, people aren't going to like us. I was like, but if we can find our people, we'll be good. And so we knew like going in and we were fine with it.
And just be nice, be polite.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, sorry. And, but you made a good point of like, say it's someone's first Phish show. They have no idea. They saw it and they were like, hey, I like going to see live music. Like, I'll go check it out. They're having fun up until the show. Everything's been cool. They've meeting all these great people, eating a grilled cheese, getting stickers, this and that. And then they're like, okay, let's go up to the front. This is great. And then they hit this like 15th row barrier. And then people are just like,
mean.
Being mean. I can see why that would ruin it. So like
but like then again, like if we know, I just don't know the answer. I don't know a solution. Right?
There isn't one.
Sometimes I get like random photo list people DM me, you know, and just like be mean. And
What?
like, you rail riders, you have so much space. And I'm like, I hear you, but faceless man, I hear you. But like, what can I do? Like,
People will DM you?
Oh my God, all the time.
And just to like bust your balls about.
Yeah.
And see, that's equally as bad as like someone like throwing an elbow. Like it's all.
I'm not like the speaker. I'm not like the speaker of the house.
You like to see your favorite band closer than I do. I hate you.
Put in a lotto. Like we all have an equal chance now. Like
right.
Yourself in person. Like if we vibe, let's do a show together. I don't know.
Yeah. Don't know what to tell you, man. It's corny. Like just go be a good person, have fun at the shows, and we're all in this thing together.
Yeah, and that can be said on both sides. Like I wish like there's some of my friends who are like, we have this friend, I love him dearly, but he shushes people.
Oh, I do the same thing.
I know, but sometimes I'm like, you gotta get like let me say one thing, please.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah. So I think if we all do, I am a shusher. If we all do some like self-reflection and inventory of like our flaws, like I can see why people would be like, hey, that dude's not fun to see a Phish show with. Because like if you're like around me and like talking and like I'm gonna be like, hey, you see these 4 dudes up here that we all paid like a lot of money to come see? Like, I would like to see them instead of hearing about your ex-wife and like, I don't give a shit. Like, shut the fuck up.
Oh my God. We're so entitled having this conversation.
Yeah.
So Phish to be like, it's a rock. It's a rock concert, but we have these like unspoken etiquette rules and like, you can't talk. You can't stand in my space. You can't go online.
Isn't it funny?
I love it. I mean, I think cool. This doesn't exist. Like because of Phish, because of where I am, like I also work in live music and like,
that's cool.
I book a lot of other shows that aren't Phish. And it's like, this is so unique that we are so experienced in the art of seeing shows that we've now like created fan rules.
We're like,
happen. Like I go to like an indie show that I've booked and everyone's like squished in and
there's no
are you guys even having fun? No one's smiling.
Yeah. Isn't it wild? And it's
fun. You bought tickets, but what are we doing here? What's the point?
And I think like the self-realization that like we're talking about right now of like knowing that the community part of like going to Phish and like Phish fans is different and like from like a grand skew, like or like a grand view, like kind of like funny. Like I can see why like other people like make fun of us because we take this thing so seriously because we love it so much and like we're in our world, but like pulling back and like looking at like from a wide angle, it's like, it's kind of silly, but it's
super silly. But I mean, it makes me really appreciate just the jam band scene as a whole, right? Like that it's extending past Phish now, this mentality that music is a community builder and that the whole point of getting people to multiple shows and not just one a year of the same. I mean, it's good for business. Sorry, I'm a suit in the industry. It's business. It's good for community. It's really beautiful, and I hope it can continue past Phish, past Goose, past whatever next iteration is. Like I hope this continues through music because I think it's the point.
Yeah,
it's so important.
I think that was very well said.
Oh, thanks.
Oh yeah, look at that. Okay, let's get back to your story.
Oh God.
So, first show, Berkeley 2010. You're hooked. Older sister got you into it. You found your crew, started riding the rail. So now that how many to date, how many shows have you seen?
Oh no, I lost count. I'm at like 130, I think.
Okay, so a lot.
Maybe a little more. Oh.
Yeah. 130.
130.
Wow. Very cool. And in a short amount of time, I mean, roughly the same amount of time.
That's like 13 a year.
Yeah.
A year.
Yeah. Good job.
Thanks.
Yeah. Look at that. You got you hit so where was your 100th show?
Oh, it was the best.
Was that like as special as I'm imagining?
It was amazing. It was Shoreline. So last summer. Was that last summer?
Okay,
So
cool.
it was, when it was supposed to be Tahoe and they moved it to Shoreline Amphitheater.
Okay.
It was amazing. So the venue was undersold because they had to move because of the Tahoe fires.
Right.
I didn't even try to go on there. I could have been on the rail. I decided to be like 6th row because it has those like stairs, and so I was right in eye level of the band. Like Shoreline was the best place to see a show ever.
Perfect.
Show was sick. They played Colonel Forbin's, which is like my Chase, my favorite song, my life.
Was it the first time you'd seen it?
No, I saw it at Baker's Dozen.
Okay, gotcha.
They didn't even do a narration. It doesn't count. So they played that. They played Way, I'm pretty sure, which like Mike Heaven. It was the 47-minute Soul Planet.
Wick, and that was your 100th show.
That was my 100th show. And then to make it better, like this is like a little humble brag moment. Do you know Jay Blakesberg, the Grateful Dead photographer? Jay Blakesberg is like a really well-known Grateful Dead photographer from like the late Grateful Dead years. Does like the photography for Peach Festival, has like a traveling show, has published a bunch of books, even with his daughter, of like retro Grateful Dead photos. So we were doing the show with him, and he got some amazing photos of me like dancing to the band that he sent me. I need to get it framed. So it was just like a magical soiree.
That's awesome. Because it's like there's always that risk of like you hit like these milestones, right? It's like 50th show, 100th show, 150th show. And there's always that risk of like being like, okay, this is my 100th show. And you can't help but be like, this is special. This is huge. Like, this is like a milestone. You know, it's like turning like 50 or something. You know?
Then they play like more, and you're like,
yeah. And then you get like a 40 song set, and you're just like, ugh.
Yeah, cool. No, I mean, you can't. Expectations will kill you.
They will. They will.
So I was super happy. I don't remember any of that. I don't think I've ever re-listened to that show, but it was so fun. They play Alumni Blues too. There's a T-shirt somewhere that we have.
There's a T-shirt somewhere. So okay, 130. Did you say 130 or 131?
I lost count.
Somewhere around there. Yeah. Okay. Out of all of the years that you've been listening to and seeing Phish, do you have a favorite year of Phish that you keep going back and listening to where you're like, this is my type, my style, my year of Phish?
I gotta say 2013. That was like an easy thing, right? That was like the year of like dark jam. Yeah. Like I remember on YouTube there was like a 2013 Fall Tour Jam compilation where it was just a YouTube video of no songs, just like the jams, jams, one right after another. It's probably like an hour long, maybe, and it's just the most dark. It's funky. It's like very just like pounding bass line.
Yeah.
Those were my favorite years.
I will say out of like,
like I was like, in the back sneaking nips in, getting drunk, like super fun. It was super heavy.
2013, I will say that's like a year that's like kind of like a diamond in the rough, in my opinion, as far as 3.0 goes.
Yeah.
2013 was one that like really shines for me because like, to your point, like there was a lot of like dark and like massive jams that felt like really good. That was my first time experiencing that within seeing the band, because didn't have the privilege of seeing them in 1.0 or 2.0 or any of the early years. So that was my first time where I was like, oh, like I'm really like getting something here, So
good. So good. Yeah.
Cool. Times. Let's narrow this down a little bit more. What is your favorite jam of all time? I like to start with being like a super hard question. Like you have to pick one. Desert Island.
Because I read that I was trying to think about that before, and it's actually a 2013 jam.
Okay.
It's the Drowned from Worcester on 10/26. I wrote it down because I never remember the date. But it's the same thing. It's the year. It's Fall Tour 2013. Like everything was like it just extended, and this jam is super special because the last like maybe 5 minutes get super light, and there's this like amazing like little melodic thing that Trey keeps repeating at the end. And I think this is maybe one of the first jams I'd like listened to over and over and over and over and over and over again. And like
you're just like hooked. Yeah.
It's so good. Yeah, Drowned from Worcester 2013 Fall Tour.
You said 1026.
1026.
Cool. Worcester.
Oh, so good.
Did you know for the until like episode, I forget what it was, but like an early episode of this podcast, I didn't know how to pronounce Worcester. I was like calling it Worcestershire, Worcestershire sauce. And
I had a conversation with someone. I was working on a show with all these guys from Texas. Great band. It's called Shane Smith and the Saints. And they were like, you know, we learned never to say Worcester to someone from Massachusetts. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Because me and one of my buddies were talking about a show for Worcester on an episode, and we were both just like butchering it. And then one of my buddies hit me up and he was like, dude, what the fuck? It's called Worcester. Like, come on, kid. I was like, I don't know.
Well, that's the Massachusetts in me for you.
It's like, why is it spelled so weird? Spell it like it sounds.
No, I don't know. I don't even know how to spell Worcester.
Yeah, Worcester.
Like how it's spelled. I mean, how it sounds. Oh, my brain hurts.
It's Worcester, kid. Worcester. That's what he said to me. So I'm curious to see what your answer will be on this. So is other than your sister, because we know that she's like kind of who introduced you into the band. If you were going to play a Phish song or a jam or an album even to a family member or a friend that had never heard of Phish and you were like trying to convert them, what are you throwing on?
Okay. I mean, this is a loaded question because
100%.
Right?
All these questions are loaded.
This is an unfair question. So I think there's not just two categories, but there's two things. Like if I'm talking to a musician, I play one thing. If I'm talking to just like a normie, a non-musician, I'll play something. Right? Okay. So if I'm talking to someone that is not a musician, just like a homie, I put on First Tube.
Smart. Good.
It is so approachable. It is so groovy. It's so fun. You can't help but dance to it.
Good answer. I like that.
Easily, immediately. If I'm with a musician that's like a hoppity, like uppity person, you have to put on Yem. Those are the only two answers.
Especially like a guitar player.
Yeah. I'm trying to impress you with the complexity, or I'm trying to make you dance.
Yeah.
Those are the two. I don't think I've ever played anyone anything else. But then again, so I'm in this, I think I mentioned I'm in this like pop band. And I made the main singer and the main guitarist each their own Phish playlists. Cool. And it was interesting to see what their favorite songs were. The guy's favorite song is Joy.
Okay.
Because he likes, I don't know, the guitar. He likes like the song. I don't know. The female singer's favorite two songs are Dirt and Llama. Like things I would never put on for anybody, but those songs that stuck out to them.
I can see Dirt because that's like I don't know what other way to describe it other than like that's like an easy listening like song. Yes. Like you could have any band cover that or play that and be like, what'd you think about that song? And most people are gonna be like, it's a nice song. I enjoyed it.
Yes, it was enjoyable. I could say I think Joy is the same. I mean, Joy just has that like big guitar. You like liked the guitar build up in the end. It's like so random. I'm like,
it is.
That's why it's like so hard to pick one because then you make them a playlist and they're like throwing out curveballs. I'm like, what?
Yeah, they're like, I didn't
shown you this.
You're like,
if I saw it live, I would walk away. Like,
it's time to snag a beer.
Yeah, we would go somewhere.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. And that's like the point, like you mentioned, like it's a loaded question because music in itself is so subjective. Like, who are we to say, like, oh, that person likes to listen to Taylor Swift and Harry Styles. Like, you have bad taste in music. Like, what? That's what they like. Or them to say, like, oh, you like Phish and the Grateful Dead and like Goose and this. And like, that's what? It all sounds the same. It's so subjective.
I book all genres of music. The work I do is like so broad. Like, you can't think about it like that. I think if I'm talking to someone that likes Taylor Swift, I got to find a Phish song that sounds the most like Taylor Swift.
Right.
And that's what I show them, and that's what they're gonna like.
Yep.
And then you ease them into the weird shit.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
And now listen to Esther.
Oh God. Or Guyuti, yeah. That's funny. So I'm curious to see your answer on this too, because you're a musician. What song would you like to see Phish cover? Because we all know that they love to cover stuff. What do you think they would do a good job of covering?
This one I was having a lot of trouble thinking about.
Okay.
Because they could do justice to anything, right? I mean, this is going to be kind of a lame answer, but my third favorite band ever is the Talking Heads. Like, I think I'd love to hear more Talking Heads in the rotation, not just like the Remain in Light. Like, I think they would crush like a Don't Worry About the Government.
Sure.
That would be so good.
And knowing that they're already fans of the Talking Heads.
Yeah, I love it. Like, I'm Talking Heads is sometimes I joke it's my favorite band because it is. I think I listened to it more than I listen to Phish. It's so easy. I
went through a phase in college, and all of my roommates will tell you, like, I was listening, and it was coincidentally Remain in Light, like that album for like a solid 3 months was just on repeat. Like, that's all I listened to. They're so good.
So good. I mean, I listen to all, like I said, like I'm a 77 person. Like, I love it all. Like, I don't just need like a cities. Like I said, give me and even bring back more than Rain Light. Play like Born Under Punch.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best song ever.
I love it.
Best song ever.
Now I'm getting goosebumps because I'm going to throw that album on today because it's been a while since I've listened to it.
Well, listen to the live version on Spotify too, or maybe I'll send you the YouTube video. There's a live version of Born Under Punches, I think, from Italy, and
with the we're talking Talking Heads.
Talking Heads.
We're talking.
And it's like Adrian Belew was with them. They had like a second bass player, even though Tina Weymouth is like,
sure,
God. It is the most hypnotic bass. Oh my God. Can I tell you fun stuff? This relates to Phish. So I saw that video. Someone showed me that YouTube video, Born Under Punches from Italy.
Yeah, shoot it to me whenever.
It's like this. Can I put it in the private chat later?
Yeah, sure.
It is the most hypnotic bass line you've ever heard. And it was stuck in my head for months. And I couldn't remember where and when I heard it. It was just like I would go to bed every night and I'd hear the bass line. And I'd be like, where is this song from? Like, I'm going crazy. I'm losing my mind. I cannot find this song. And so I'm at the gorge. I'm like, engorged, whatever you want to say. And
nice.
I'm at the gorge, walking down Shakedown, and I hear it. And I hear the song. And I'm like,
where's that coming from?
And I'm running over. And someone's like, on Shakedown, like, and there's a dance party around it. Someone's out of their boombox playing the song. And I'm like, of course, it's Talking Heads.
That exact version they were playing?
They were playing walking down like the main Shakedown at the gorge.
And it was like, you've been searching for it for so long.
Searching for it for a long time.
Because that shit will drive you crazy. Like, you'll have, and Phish fans especially can relate to this because we've all had like a melody of like a song that's in our head and we're like, what is that? Like, what is that? But you have an easy time finding it. But with us, the Phish fans and nerds that we are, like, I will get segments of jams stuck in my head to where I'm like, and it's like a 10-second clip. And I'm like, dude, there's no way I'm ever going to be able to find this. I don't know where to start year-wise. I don't know where to start song-wise. And it's just like stuck and you can't find it. So that's cool that you just like happenstance or like, boom, there it is. Where's it at? I gotta find it. This is my chance.
You have to, I sent you the video, like, and you'll hear
cool.
like it's like foreboding. It's just like it's an earworm. Like it gets you so deep. And so we were even like for SEAP considering playing this because we were also kind of playing with this idea. We were talking about it last night of playing songs that we think Phish should cover, or like of artists Phish has already covered, because why not? Like,
it's almost Phish.
It doesn't matter. It's our band. Like, we're
do
gonna
what you want.
We're gonna crush a Born Under Punches because it is. You'll listen and like email me your thoughts because
for sure.
It is. I think it's my favorite song
in the world ever.
In the world, it's my favorite bass line in the entire world.
Cool. Okay. No, yeah, I'll be interested to hear that, knowing that you are a bass player. This is your favorite bass line in the world. Yeah, I'll check it out.
It's so good. It's so simple. It's so good.
And we already covered what song you were chasing, so the Colonel Forbins. Any like second in line with that, since you've already seen that? Is there a song that you haven't heard after your
I mean, my like, I feel like my chases are so just like lame because they're songs that no one has seen, right? I've seen so much, like Iculus I've never seen. Like, okay. Sure. Right, sure. Okay.
Well, I've seen an Iculus. I think I've seen a couple of Iculuses.
I never have.
That one year at Dick's, they spelled out
thank you.
No, not the thank you. They spelled out something, and I think that this was last year at Dick's. They ended.
I left. I was only at Dick's for 2.5 nights.
I believe that their encore, they played Iculus, if I'm not mistaken.
It was an underwhelming show, no offense.
It was. And that was like second set on Sunday is whenever I was like up front, you know?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like the lights are right here. They're right there. Like I can see Trey's like scruff. Like I was like, this is insane.
That's worth it. Like,
yeah.
Don't let like just so underwhelming.
I know. And I was trying so hard. I was like, because every time they would start a song, I'd be like, my initial reaction, I'd be like, ugh. I'd be like, enjoy it, you're here. But I was like, give me something, man, give me something.
So we left. So I got into that Dick's late. I was where was I? think I was in Florida because my company books a music venue down in Miami, and so I had like a 5 p.m. flight out of Miami to get to the show at Dick's the first night, and I walked in during Scent of a Mule, which was cool. And then we wanted to be home, so we left. We're just gonna miss the last night and hope it's not great.
Well, you picked a good night.
Well, it's ridiculous, so like whatever.
Yeah. So did that, like, since that's like kind of like what you're chasing, like now one of the ones that you're chasing, did you see that and were like bummed out? Or
I don't get like that anymore.
Yeah.
I used to, right? Like 2015, I feel like I would get upset if I missed a show and a set and a song. But nowadays, you just have to be thankful for what you can catch. And
exactly,
most people can't catch them all, and I can't.
Pokemon, catch them all.
I know that I can't catch them all,
right?
And that's okay. And so I'm happy to still chase something. I'm happy to be able to feel like I'm missing something because it makes you want to go back.
Exactly. The FOMO.
I embrace the FOMO. I can't let it get to you. Use it. Like that.
Absolutely.
Like, that you miss. Like that's so beautiful.
Yeah. and here.
Oh no.
Hearing you say that, you're like, embrace like missing the shows, and like coming from someone that's in New York and like goes to every MSG show. It's like you just gotta.
Or maybe that's why I can say it.
Yeah.
I'm super privileged.
Yeah.
I see a bunch of shows. I get to see a lot of it really close up.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't be upset if I miss an Iculus.
No, right.
I'm not allowed to complain about anything because I am so lucky.
Dude, you are lucky. That's awesome though. But I mean, is it luck? Like you're where you are. Like that's
you're right. It's not luck. I mean, a little bit. It's being,
enjoy it.
It's being at the right place at the right time and with the right energy and it's just
you're seizing the moment.
Yeah. Carpe diem.
That's the title of this episode. Carpe diem. Oh my God. So we've talked about a lot of like some stuff that's happened at shows and some of your memories. Do you have a favorite memory that sticks out over all of these shows that you've seen after all of these years you've been seeing Phish? Is there one like story that pops out to you that you keep going back to? You're like, man, that was the best.
I feel like I used to have a story, but now it's not interesting anymore.
Why not?
No, it's like Baker's Dozen was crazy. The energy in New York, like I feel like I had so many stories from that time where, right, I was living here. I was going to work every day. I worked at a Pilates studio, so I'd go to the shows and wake up at 5 a.m. and work and
rough.
Yeah, but like I think and you're partying every day. Like the energy in New York, the way I perceived it, was
Sure.
was different, was unique. Like you could almost see the electricity. Well, now I just sound like I was losing my mind, but I was.
No, you're fine.
The energy was palpable. Like it felt like the sidewalks were gonna crack and like volcanoes were gonna erupt out of the sidewalk. Like that's how it felt every day living here during the 2000. It was just a different energy. You woke up, the air smelled different and felt different. And that stands out to me, which is why I'm so excited that there's all these rumors that's going to happen again. And I mean, you hear it here first. It probably is. Like
that would be because like what? So I'm curious because you've kind of like alluded that you like are in like the music scene. You said like you're a suit. So like whenever you see these like Phish rumors come out and stuff, do you just like have a database that you can kind of like fact check, or you can't go on the record with that?
I don't like I don't get tickets through any hookup like I do.
No, I don't mean like tickets. I mean
like I don't have like a direct line to the Phish realm. I just have like a lot of other like agent friends or
contacts,
friends, that are just Phish fans. So like we share our excitement, but no one's like, I don't know the person making the calls, but I usually can have a good idea, and like I usually can have a good idea, or I just get like pieces of information that don't matter at all. I didn't need to know like the budget for the New Year's run. But I do.
It's like I don't care.
I know that they passed on the first budget. Like, who cares? Like, I get all this useless information.
No, same. And like I work in radio, so it's like I get like the same. It's like I'll get like random pieces of information in like confidential emails, and I'm like, okay, like I don't care what's on.
So the point.
But it has never led me to like, because I've worked in like hip hop radio, country radio, like rock radio, pop, and so none of those genres have ever like led me to like getting any information about Phish per se. And once again, because it's radio, that they're not like having the record labels reach out and like trying to play. Radio's not the place to go for that.
But together, where's your radio station?
I'm in Michigan. Maybe we should connect. Maybe there's something to do work wise.
We don't have any venues in Michigan, but who knows?
I mean the big one, we've got like Pine Knob.
Okay, cool.
It used to be DT, or Pine Knob went to DTE, now it's Pine Knob again. Got the Little Caesars Arena in Detroit.
It's hard to find radio contacts. Like, you guys are hard to track down.
Few and far between.
I always want to ask favors, Ticket giveaways.
And there's been some like sometimes where like like we'll get tickets to give away, and mostly it's like I don't want to keep any, but like there's been a few shows where I've been like, we got tickets to that. Okay, nice. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for taking the time to hop on early on a Saturday morning and sharing your story. Wish you all the success with your band, Almost Phish.
We'll come to Michigan on tour soon.
Dude, and so where can people find the info on your band?
I guess go to Phish Talk, right? I am Phish_talk. Camping on that name for as long as I can.
Where at? Like on all socials?
No, on my other socials you can do my name. It's just Sarah Elaz, SARAHELAZ,
cool.
Z as in zebra. I'm the only one. There's no other Sarah Elazes in the world, so you'll
find you pretty easy.
One. From there you can see tour dates, you can see videos of us playing, request songs. Who knows? Do whatever you want. Do what you want to hear. Get like Fight Gas. We're gonna play Minkin one day. I think who wants to play? We have the drummer from Pink Talking Fish wants to play some crazy songs. I was like, okay, whatever you want. Demand, you got it.
And I think I don't think at one point, because I follow you on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we like initially connected. I think you were live one day
Oh yeah.
And you were like working out the bass line to.
Was it Harry Hood?
No, it was more of like a deep cut. I think it was like, because you were like working on, like you would play it, like you would have
Yeah.
it playing, and then you were like working on it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. She's learning that. And then I think like you posted something about like you playing it like in you guys were gonna like debut at the show like the next
Oh, was
day.
it Man Who Stepped Into Yesterday?
Could have been.
Yeah.
Whatever song that you like recently learned in the
Oh,
past like month or so.
bro.
Kong, I don't know. I think it was
my brain is so. I'm trying to remember what we played at our last show. We put our set list online.
Okay, maybe I'll take a look at that and be like, oh,
was it?
No.
Yeah, we've been playing about a show a month. It was super fun. In December, we had Brian Murray from Dogs in a Pile sit in and play a lot of the show with us. He's one of the guitarists. He's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, deep cuts only. No love and light at a SEAP show.
We're going dark, baby.
Yeah, sometimes one of the female singers like, let's play Life Beyond a Dream. I'm like, nope, veto.
Not happening.
No, I'm sorry.
You get someone there and they're just like, play Joy. Play
Joy better. I will play it. It's a beautiful song.
It is a beautiful song. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I wish you all this success with your bands and all of everything else you have going on. And hopefully whenever we get some summer tour dates, catch you at a show.
We'll see you at a show. Listen to Born Under Punches in the meantime.
Oh, I will for sure. And stick around. I'm going to end the recording and we'll talk logistics. Logistics.